There are moments when the heart seems to whisper in the silence, and even surrounded by noise, there is an inner song that does not fade. This song is faith, discreet, but alive. It remains even when everything you know seems to crumble. It doesn't scream, it doesn't demand. It just remains, firm, waiting for the right moment to bloom again. You may be going through a time when you feel alone. Perhaps work has lost its shine, that relationships have become more distant. Or maybe there is a silence inside your house, the kind of silence that weighs more than any word. But listen closely, there is something being born within this silence. Something sacred, even if you don't see it yet. Life, at times, puts us through trials not to punish us, but to purify the sound of our soul. When everything seems dark, it's because the heart is being tuned, like an instrument that, even in pain, learns to produce more beautiful sounds. You are being tuned, prepared for a new harmony. And it is in this process that the unexpected happens. That professional project that seemed hopeless, that door that slammed shut. You will see, in a short time, a turnaround that will bring clarity and recognition. What was a shadow will become a stage. The silent dedication that no one saw will be honored publicly. Just maintain your fidelity to what is right, even when no one is watching. The fruit of integrity ripens slowly, but when it arrives, it feeds many. Perhaps you doubt that anyone notices your effort. But there is a gaze that sees, even in the hidden. And that gaze is preparing something greater than what you asked for. A new cycle is forming in your professional path, more free, more creative, and more worthy of your truth. Soon, you will be called to a space where your voice, your talent, and your light can express themselves without fear. But it's not only in work that life prepares a new dawn. In love, something profound is being restored. Perhaps you have loved and been hurt. Maybe you felt the weight of absence, of distance, or the coldness of unrequited love. But true love does not fade. It changes form, it purifies itself, and one day, it returns. Someone is being prepared to understand the beauty of what you offer. And when this encounter happens, whether with someone new or with someone who returns transformed, you will recognize in that person's eyes the reflection of your faith, the echo of your inner music. A more mature, more serene, and freer love awaits you. The time of impatient love is over. Now is the time of love that respects, that grows, that walks together without fear. And in the heart of your family, a healing is taking place, even if silent. There may be misunderstandings, distances, or old pains that seemed eternal. But forgiveness is being sown. Words that were not said will be said at the right time. And when they are, they will bring tears, yes, but tears of liberation, not of sadness. The unity that seemed impossible will be restored. And what was broken will not just be glued back together, it will be recreated, stronger, purer, more real. Believe, nothing is in vain. The tears you shed, God did not waste. Each one of them watered the ground of a future that is already beginning to sprout. What hurts you today will soon be the testimony that brings comfort to others. Your story is being written with delicacy, and in it there is a chorus of victory. Continue faithful to your song, even when no one understands its melody. Do not change the essence of your heart to fit the noise of the world. Heaven works in silence, and your faith, even when tired, is still beautiful. Soon, you will see, the doors that closed were just a detour to lead you to the place where you truly belong. A new light is coming. In work, recognition. In love, reciprocity. In family, peace. And within you, a serenity that no longer depends on circumstances. You will take a deep breath and realize that everything, absolutely everything, made sense. You will smile when you remember the days you wanted to give up. And you will understand that it was exactly there, at your limit, that heaven began to act. Nothing is lost. Nothing is too late. The time to blossom is coming. And when it arrives, you will know that your song never stopped playing. So, breathe. Hope has not gone away. It has only fallen silent to hear the sound of your heart. Keep singing inside, even amid the pain. Because the one who sings in silence moves the impossible. Your victory is closer than you imagine. And when it comes, it will be beautiful, light, and eternal. There is something that time cannot steal, the sound of your soul when it decides to trust. Even when the promises seem distant, there is a secret beat directing your path. Nothing is standing still, the invisible is working. Every sunrise, no matter how ordinary it seems, carries subtle signs that your story is being guided by firm and compassionate hands. Your life is not adrift. There is direction. There is a destiny being drawn between the pauses of your breath. Have you noticed how the light enters through the cracks? It never invades, it just waits for the moment you decide to open the window. The divine action is also like this, patient, respectful, full of tenderness. While you think you are waiting for a miracle, the miracle is waiting for you to trust, to move, to believe in the impossible again. Yes, there were moments when fear tried to silence your faith. There were days when external voices were louder than your hope. But within you, even in silence, there was a flame that refused to go out. This flame is the testament to your strength. You endured more than you imagined and still kept your heart sensitive. And that is what makes you a rare soul. You did not allow the pain to harden you. Soon, something will change. Not abruptly, but gently, like the breaking of the sun after a long night. A sequence of small signs will confirm that the new season has arrived. Someone will look for you with an unexpected proposal. A word spoken by chance will reignite your courage. A reunion, a gesture, a look, everything will begin to align like notes of an old song you always knew how to sing, but have forgotten the melody. And then you will understand, nothing was lost, everything was preparation. The time of waiting was not dead time. It was the time your soul grew roots. While you thought you were stagnant, you were deepening. And now, the roots that grew in the dark will sustain you when the light arrives. You will not just blossom, you will bear fruit. And the fruits that come from your path will feed other hearts hungry for hope. Do not rush. The plans from above are not built with anxiety, but with confidence. Every step of yours, even the uncertain ones, is being guided by something greater than your understanding. And even the falls, the pauses, and the detours serve to redirect you. There are purposes that only silence reveals. And there are answers that only time can translate. What once hurt you now teaches you. What once paralyzed you now drives you. And what once seemed like the end was just the beginning of your soul's true calling. You are learning to live not to prove something to others, but to align with your deepest truth. This is the true miracle, when your life begins to sing at the same frequency as your heart. In work, prepare for recognition that comes from coherence. The people around you will begin to see your dedication with new eyes. What seemed like routine will turn into purpose. And when this happens, your presence will inspire others, not by what you say, but by the peace you carry. There will be invitations, opportunities, and harvests that will come naturally, without you having to wear yourself out so much. Everything you planted in silence will begin to blossom before the eyes of many. And when they ask you how you did it, you will smile and simply answer, "I waited with faith." In love, the time of solitude is fulfilling its purpose. It is not punishment, it is healing. Solitude is the space where the soul learns to love without attachment, to give without fear, and to be complete without needing halves. And it is precisely when your wholeness manifests that true love approaches, not to fill you, but to overflow with you. Prepare your heart for a reunion, perhaps with someone new, perhaps with someone who returns changed, but, above all, a reunion with yourself. You will feel alive, desired, seen again, but now in a mature, healthy, and peaceful way. This love will not be made of hurried promises, but of presence and truth. And as for your family, the walls that seemed insurmountable will begin to crumble. Not by force, but by gentleness. Old words will be revisited with forgiveness, and hardened hearts will begin to soften. There will be reconciliations. There will be unexpected hugs. And that feeling of home, which seemed distant, will return to dwell in your chest. Those who did not understand you before will begin to listen to you. And you will understand that love never ceased to exist, it was just waiting for the right moment to be healed. Everything you went through had a meaning, to teach you to sing even in the shadows. Because it is in the shadows that faith finds its purest note. And you sang, even without realizing it, when you chose not to give up. Now, this silent song will be heard. The entire universe moves to amplify the sound of your perseverance. What was once just a whisper will become a hymn of victory. Do not be afraid of what is coming. The remaining trials are not punishments, they are refinements. Gold needs fire to shine, and the soul needs surrender to ascend. And you, strong and sensitive soul, have already endured enough to deserve the lightness that approaches. Soon, the weight will fall from your shoulders, and a new vigor will emerge. You will wake up one day and realize that fear has lost its power, and hope has taken its place. There are promises being fulfilled. There are doors opening in silence. There are people being sent to walk with you. And there are signs, subtle, but constant, showing that your faith was not in vain. Keep listening to the sound of your heart, even when the world says it's madness. Because it is there, in that calm and insistent sound, that the divine whispers your destiny. Do not look back with guilt. Nothing was wasted. Every mistake was a necessary note to compose the symphony of your evolution. And time, which once seemed cruel to you, will be the first to applaud you. The justice of life will come, not in the form of vengeance, but of wholeness. You will understand that you didn't need to defeat anyone, just defeat yourself, and remain faithful to what you believe. And when the new cycle finally reveals itself completely, there will be silence. But not the silence of pain, the silence of peace. That moment when you breathe and feel that the heart and the world are in harmony. It is at this point that your soul sings loudest, even without sound. And everyone around you will feel this song. Some will call it luck, others destiny. But you will know, it was faith, patience, and love. Your song continues. And now, it echoes stronger, more serene, more full of light. The time to hide your wings is over. The time to fly has come. And the sky that once seemed distant has always been within you. There is a moment in life when the heart stops asking and begins to think, not because everything has been resolved, but because, suddenly, you understand that the simple fact of still standing is already a miracle. You have gone through days that seem to erase you, and yet, here you are, breathing, walking, believing, even if with slow steps. This is faith in its purest form, to follow even without seeing the whole path. With every sunrise, you prove that within you there is a strength that the world cannot measure. The time of doubt is ending. You crossed emotional deserts, endured silences that screamed inside, and faced storms that seemed endless. But now, the wind changes direction. The same wind that once pushed you back will begin to propel you forward. The doors that remained closed for so long will suddenly begin to yield, not by chance, but because you are ready. Ready to sustain what you only dreamed of before. Ready to live what you only imagined before. Your growth was silent, but profound. And that is why the harvest will be abundant. You will realize that life rewards not those who run fastest, but those who remain faithful even when they are tired. Heaven moves for those who do not give up. And you did not give up. Soon, your faith will cease to be just a seed, and will become a tree. And the people who doubted, who did not understand, who walked away, will see the fruits. But you will not bear a grudge. Forgiveness will become natural, because the love that dwells in you will be greater than any wound. You will understand that nothing was taken from you, they just freed you from what no longer belonged to you. In work, prepare yourself, the recognition will come, and with it, a new phase. Perhaps an invitation, a promotion, a project that seemed improbable, something that will show that your effort has not been forgotten. But the true gift will not be the position or the money, it will be the sense of purpose, the joy of finally realizing that your talent is a bridge, not a prison. You will be a light in dark places. You will inspire people who are at the same point where you once were, confused, demotivated, disbelieving. And your example will be a beacon. In your love life, the time of missed connections is dissolving. The hearts that were lost are being repositioned. You will be surprised by a simple gesture, a look, a message, a presence that awakens calm. It will be a love that does not arrive in a rush, but with depth. Someone who will not try to change you, but will see you exactly as you are, and will still decide to stay. This love will come as an answer to prayer, not as a distraction. It will be a relationship where the soul can rest. A love that builds up, not wears down. And when you realize it, you will be smiling again, not because you found someone, but because you found yourself again within that love. And inside your house, harmony will return. Those who once avoided each other will begin to draw closer. Dialogue will return, respect will blossom, and laughter will once again inhabit the spaces where there was only heaviness before. The generations will understand each other, wounds will be touched with patience, and the home will once again be a shelter. You will see reconciliations that you judged impossible. Love, the very one that seemed fragile, will show its true strength, because love does not die, it just waits for the right time to manifest itself again. Now, your life enters a new rhythm. A lighter, more conscious, more truthful rhythm. You will no longer need to chase what is yours. What is yours will find its way to you. Because when the heart aligns with purpose, everything begins to flow naturally. Abundance ceases to be effort and becomes a consequence. Do not fear the new. It may seem uncertain, but it carries the perfume of freedom. You have lived enough in the almost, the maybe, the later. The time for now has come. Now is the time to harvest, to walk with courage, to allow the light to pass through you completely. Do not hide what you feel anymore. Do not diminish what you are anymore. Humility is not being silent, it is serving with courage, it is giving the gift that was entrusted to you. Your song was not written for silence. It was created to touch hearts. Every word of yours has the power to heal, inspire, transform. And even without realizing it, you are already doing this. The way you smile, the way you speak, the way you get up every day, is already a testimony. There are people who are reborn just by watching you continue. From now on, walk with lightness. Do not carry guilt that is not yours anymore. Do not cling to the expectations of others. You did not come into the world to comply, you came to fulfill. To fulfill what heaven wrote in you even before you were born. And when you follow this calling, everything else will adjust. The challenges will not cease, but they will lose the power to shake you. You will look at difficulty and see opportunity. You will feel fear, yes, but fear will not command you. Because faith is not the absence of fear, it is the courage to follow despite it. And you will follow. With surer steps, with a clearer gaze, with a heart more whole. And when the future arrives, you will see that you lost nothing, you just found yourself. Everything that looked like ruin will be a foundation. Everything that looked like an end will be a seed. And everything that looked like silence will be music. There is an invisible force sustaining your journey. It does not promise you the absence of pain, but it guarantees the constant presence of love. And this love will envelop you in every aspect, in your profession, in your home, in your affections. You will live days when you ask yourself, was it a dream? And the answer will be, no, it was a promise fulfilled. So, move forward. The time of fear is over. Now is the time of faith that blossoms, of hope that renews itself, of life that sings. Sing even without sound, even without an audience, even without certainty. Because heaven hears you. And to the rhythm of your song, the universe rearranges itself. Your name is written in light. Your story is a poem under construction. And its chorus is simple and eternal, nothing was in vain. When the last note of your song echoes, it will join the divine melody, and then you will comprehend everything, every tear, every weight, every silence, every miracle. And you will realize that, in fact, your whole life was a symphony of love. There is an instant when time slows down, and the entire universe seems to whisper only to you. It is when everything makes sense, even if for a brief moment. You feel that every tear was a step, every loss was a push, and every delay was just the way heaven prepared you for something you couldn't yet understand. It is at that instant that the heart understands that growing up hurts, but it also liberates. You were molded in fire, purified in tears, and refined in patience. What seemed like punishment was, in fact, training. You were taught to wait, to be silent, to hear what the world cannot say. Now, the sound that echoes in your soul is different, it is the melody of rebirth. The winds have changed, and you have changed with them. You are no longer the same person who started this journey. The pains refined you, the time matured you, and faith sustained you. Now, you don't just survive, you flourish. Even after the winter, even after the exhaustion, you flourish. And the perfume of this flower that is born inside you is the sign that the new time has already begun. Yes, there are blessings that arrive in silence, disguised as routine. But if you look with your heart, you will notice the miracle in the little things, the sun that rises, the embrace that comforts, the unexpected message, the rest that comes when you finally let go of control. It is in that space between effort and surrender that the divine acts with perfection. Because when you do your part and trust in the rest, the entire universe conspires for good to prevail. The next pages of your life will be written with tenderness. There will be no more haste, only presence. The pain that once consumed you now transforms into wisdom. What hurt you transforms into empathy. And what paralyzed you now drives you. You are learning to dance with life, not against it. In the professional field, something surprising is aligning. Perhaps an opportunity that seemed lost will return, with new colors and purposes. Perhaps an old project will be resumed and finally find the recognition that did not come before. Everything that was postponed will be returned multiplied. And, more than success, you will find meaning. Your work will not just be a source of sustenance, but an expression of your soul. You will not work only with your hands, but with your heart. And this kind of dedication attracts natural prosperity, because the universe always rewards what is done with love. In love, healing is underway. Broken bonds begin to be restored subtly. You will feel this in simple gestures, an unexpected message, a conversation that seemed impossible, a reunion that ignites the heart with calm, not anxiety. True love does not come with noise, it arrives softly, like a breeze after the storm. And when it arrives, you will recognize it, not because it will be perfect, but because it will be true. There will be reciprocity, there will be peace, and there will be that feeling of home within your chest. You will realize that the love that remained is the one that never left, it was just maturing in the silence of the right time. In the home, harmony will return with strength. Differences will give way to respect, and old wounds will begin to heal. Family ties will be reestablished, and forgiveness will open space for laughter. You will see hands reaching out again, words being spoken with truth, and hearts meeting not out of obligation, but out of love. The home will smell of hope again, and the sound of peace will echo through the corners. What was once heaviness will be a blessing. What was once distance will be a reunion. And while all this is happening, you will notice something even greater, the constant presence of a light that guides you, even when there is no visible path. This light is ancient, it is wise, it is pure love. It has always dwelled within you, but now, with a healed heart, it begins to shine brightly. You will become a channel of inspiration, without even needing to say a word. Your simple existence will be a testament to living faith. There is a new shine in your eyes, the shine of someone who has learned to trust. Not in circumstances, but in promises. You have understood that what comes from above never arrives late. Everything happens at the exact moment when your soul is ready to receive. And now, it is. Therefore, do not fear tomorrow anymore. It is not an enemy, it is a continuation. It carries gifts you cannot even imagine, answers that are already on their way, and miracles that have already begun to move. Just follow. The path will not lead you to the destination, it is the destination being revealed little by little. Every step you take is sacred. Every breath you take is part of a greater purpose. You will be surprised by synchronicities, people who appear at the right moment, opportunities that cross your path as if they were coincidence, but they are not. Nothing is by chance. The universe writes with invisible lines, and now you begin to read between them. Your intuition will become stronger, the signs clearer, and your heart firmer. You will know when to advance, when to wait, and when to simply trust. And amidst all this, heaven will ask only one thing of you: continue loving. Even when you don't understand, love. Even when it hurts, love. Even when it seems like it's not worth it, love anyway, because it is love that moves everything, sustains everything, transforms everything. Life is not about accumulating victories, but about spreading love wherever you go. And you have been doing this, even without realizing it. With every gesture of kindness, every sweet word, every silent prayer, you plant light. And this light returns, it always returns. It returns in the form of peace, healing, of miracles that have no human explanation. You will still see things that seem impossible happen before your eyes. And you will understand, it was faith that built all this. Heaven rejoices in your journey. The days ahead will bring answers, victories, reunions, and new beginnings. But the greatest gift will be realizing that, even in the darkest hours, you were never alone. There were invisible hands sustaining you, there were eyes watching over you, there was love surrounding you. And now, this love begins to manifest itself in a palpable, concrete, glorious way. Close your eyes for a moment. Feel this presence. It embraces your being like an ancient hug, like returning home after a long journey. Breathe. Everything is well. What had to be lost has fulfilled its role. What remains is eternal. And what is coming will be even more beautiful. Life did not end in the dark days. It was just waiting for your light to awaken. And it has awakened. Now, the universe applauds you in silence. And all of heaven sings your name, in notes that echo as a promise. The best is yet to come. The days that are coming will be full of subtle signs. Small confirmations that time has not forgotten you, that the promises are still alive, breathing in the invisible, only awaiting the right moment to blossom before you. You will begin to realize that nothing was in vain. Every fall taught you to get up with more lightness, every silence taught you to hear what the world was not saying, and every wait brought you closer to a purpose whose beauty is only now beginning to reveal itself. There will be a moment, perhaps brief, perhaps profound, when you find yourself smiling for no apparent reason. It will be the sign that the soul has understood, that the burden has dissolved, and the heart has learned to live in peace, even when life is not yet perfect. Perfection, after all, is not in what is missing, but in what remains. The winds will blow in your favor. The paths will open with a gentleness that once seemed impossible. What once required force will now flow naturally. Because when the heart aligns with the high, the entire universe finds ways to guide you effortlessly. You will understand that power is not in controlling, but in trusting. And the miracle is not in what arrives, but in what awakens within you when you choose to remain firm, even without understanding. Everything that was heaviness will become momentum. Everything that was pain will become direction. What hurt you will cease to be a wound and will become wisdom. And with time, you will realize that nothing was lost, only transformed. The love that left, the job that ended, the doors that closed, all of this merely redirected you to what was truly yours. In the professional field, a new cycle begins to take shape with clarity. A cycle in which recognition will come not because you sought it desperately, but because you conquered it with constancy. Your gifts, once seen only by a few, will be noticed by many. There will be a calling, a proposal, perhaps a project that is reborn, and with it will come a harvest that seemed distant. And you will understand, the effort was not in vain, the time was not wasted, and the faith you kept alight in the dark was the key that opened the doors that once seemed locked. Everything you planted in silence will begin to blossom in the light. In your love life, a new tenderness will approach. It will be a serene, mature love that does not demand, but only shares. Perhaps it will come from someone you already know. But now with a new perspective, or perhaps it will come from someone that destiny was preparing in silence, refining them at the same time it was refining you. This encounter will bring peace, not anxiety. It will not come to fill a void, but to overflow what is already whole. It will be love that heals, love that understands, love that remains even when the world changes. And you will know it is true, because it does not hold you, it liberates you. In the home, the noises of the past will turn into music. Understanding will replace judgment, and dialogue will occupy the space previously taken by distance. Relationships will be reborn, strengthened by forgiveness. Family love, once wounded, will rediscover its purest form. Laughter will once again fill the environment, and the house, which once seemed empty, will again be a shelter. There will be unexpected reconciliations, unspoken words finally pronounced, and hearts that meet again, recognizing themselves as parts of the same whole. And as all this happens, you will notice an even greater movement, that of your soul awakening to its true mission. You will understand that you came into the world not just to win, but to illuminate. Your life will become a testament that it is possible to go through the darkness and still choose to love. And this choice, repeated day after day, will make you a source of light for others who are still walking in the shadow. Without effort, without imposition, simply by the way you live, how you speak, how you welcome. You will see that time as an ally, not an enemy. It did not delay you, it prepared you. While you thought nothing was happening, the invisible was working in your favor. Now, the pieces fit together, the paths converge, and the purpose is revealed. Those who doubted will see, and those who believed with you will celebrate. And you, with a serene heart, will know that you did not need to fight against destiny, you just had to walk with faith until the right moment to blossom. The fruits will be beautiful, but what will move you the most will be realizing how much you have transformed to get here. You will learn to be grateful not only for the victories, but also for the losses. Because without them, there would be no space for the new. Life removed what was heavy so that you could fly. And now, the wings that were once tired begin to move again, with gentleness, with hope. Everything the future holds for you is born from what you were able to endure with faith. Nothing was wasted. Nothing. The long nights, the doubts, the tears, the waits, everything was a seed. And seeds do not die, they sleep until the right season awakens them. Your season has arrived. There will be days when the sun will seem more golden, not because it has changed, but because your eyes have learned to see the light. You will walk the streets with a light heart, and even the common sound of life, footsteps, voices, wind, will seem like music. Not the music made by instruments, but the one born from the soul when it understands that everything is part of a great divine symphony. And in this symphony, your note is essential. Without it, the world would be quieter. Therefore, move forward. With tenderness, with courage, with faith. The path does not ask for haste, it asks for presence. And presence is the greatest miracle. It is in it that heaven touches earth, and that the human meets the eternal. Soon, very soon, you will realize, the doors that opened were not luck, they were a promise. The people who arrived were not chance, they were an answer. And the peace that settled within you was not a coincidence, it was the sign that the purpose was fulfilled. The cycle that begins now will be one of harvest, of love, of abundance, and of reconciliation. Everything that was denied will return transformed. Everything that was postponed will come at the exact time. And everything that was lost will give way to something even more beautiful, more lasting, more true. The entire universe watches you with tenderness, because it recognizes the strength that dwells within you. The strength of one who faced the fire and emerged from it purified, not hardened. The strength of one who chose to remain gentle even when the world was cruel. This strength is rare, it is sacred, and that is why life still has so much reserved for you. So walk. Without fear, without haste. The horizon ahead is not the end, it is the beginning of everything that was always promised to you. And when the new dawn finds you, it won't need to say anything. You will simply know the wait was worth it. And heaven, in silence, will smile. Because finally, everything has been fulfilled.